to Jim and John and Bill for giving such great speeches. But I want to say something to everybody else that's standing here. You're the people that have carried the heavy load of demonstrations about this protocol. The banned community of Northern Ireland, give yourself a round of applause, because you've stood against the protocol when your politicians abandoned you. And you can be proud. You can be proud of what you've done. And I'm honoured as an Englishman, as an English patriot who loves the whole of the United Kingdom. I served in this country in 1987 and I fell in love with this country and fell in love with the people of this country. And I want to tell you something, there's plenty of people in England and Scotland and Wales that are standing with you. I can promise you that. They're standing with you and they support you. And I've seen in the band community in Northern Ireland real leadership in the last 6 months. You've had the harassment from the provisional service, the police service of Northern Ireland. You've had harassment from them. You've had the threats. Every time you come to a demonstration, they're pointing cameras at you. They're telling you that you're gathering illegally. And you have stood fast. And you must continue to stand fast. Because if you stand fast and keep doing this, eventually the politicians will catch up. You are the leaders of this movement, not the speakers, not the politicians. It's the bands in Northern Ireland, from Market Hill to Coleraine, every single week. Look at the weather today. Lashing out the heavens. Hasn't put any Ulstermen off, has it? You're all here, you're all standing, and you're all standing fast. And we will stand here until this protocol is gone. I've heard politicians say the protocol's going nowhere. That's a surrender. The protocol has to go. The protocol is as John said, the protocol is the precursor to the destruction of Northern Ireland. We better believe this, folks. We're already out of the United Kingdom. We've already been taken out of the United Kingdom. The highest legal mind in Northern Ireland has said that Boris Johnson has broken the Act of Union. What does that make Boris? A traitor! He's a traitor! He's a Republican appeaser! And what do we used to do with traitors? We used to hang traitors. Now we don't hang traitors anymore. And I'm not suggesting that we should hang our illustrious Prime Minister. But I tell you what we can do. We can make such a noise that the Prime Minister has to listen. And we can make a noise in Northern Ireland. We can make a noise in the Republic of Ireland. And most of all, we can make a noise in London. We need to mobilise people outside Downing Street to wake that sleepy, lying Prime Minister up to realise what he has done. But I heard in the Belfast Telegraph, I believe that the working class Protestant Unionist loyalist people of Northern Ireland, I believe for the past 100 years you have been the backbone of this country. You're despised and rejected by the rest of society, but the loyalist people of Northern Ireland, from the Battle of the Somme to the shipyards to the Troubles, when UDR men went home and were murdered by IRA men, you are the backbone of this country. Not the unionist politicians. They go back to their safe houses with their bulletproof glass and their bodyguards. They're not the ones that took the full force and ferocity of the Troubles. It was the RUC men, it was the UDR men, and it was the loyalist activists that bore the full brunt of the Troubles in Northern Ireland. And I want to tell you something. John's right when he calls out those politicians. Now when we come to these demonstrations and we make speeches, we complain about what's wrong. And we very, very rarely give solutions. But I think we've got some solutions. How do we get Boris Johnson to realise that he's in the wrong? How do we get Boris Johnson to realise that he's wrong? I'll tell you what we do. We get activists in London to make a noise outside Downing Street, to make a noise outside Parliament, to make a noise in Boris Johnson's constituency. How many people that vote for Boris Johnson realise that Boris Johnson has betrayed the United Kingdom and that Boris Johnson has already broken up the United Kingdom? The protocol breaks the UK. That's what's so infuriating about this. And yet Jeffrey and Doug, where's Doug Beattie tonight? Is he here? Is Doug here? No, he's not here. Is he at a gay pride parade? Maybe he's certainly not here.
He's in Dublin.
What about Jeffrey? Where's Jeffrey tonight?
He's in Dublin as well.
He's in Dublin as well. You see, the reality is, 30 years ago, the DUP, the local representatives, they'd have been standing shoulder to shoulder with the working class loyalist community. They've abandoned you. It's as simple as that. They've abandoned you. Exactly, Ian Paisley would be smelling his grave. Where's the party that always said never, never, never and no surrender? Where is that party? Sitting having tea and buns with Sinn Féin, IRA, and the people that would still murder all of us if they got the chance. So what do we do? Well, this is what I suggest, and who am I, as an Englishman, to come and tell Ulstermen what to do? Well, the only reason I'm here is because nobody else will do it. This is what I would do. This is what I suggest. At the next election, unless these people have taken a specific stand against the protocol, we raise up people who will stand against the protocol, whether it's the TUV, whether it's independents. We get people who will say, either the protocol goes or Stormont goes, and if that doesn't happen, we won't vote for you. That will terrify Jeffrey and Doug, because they will realise they're going to lose the core support of the working class loyalist people. Without the working class loyalist people, they can do nothing. And incidentally, exactly, brother. Incidentally, we all need to make sure that we're registered to vote. Did you know that we've all been booted off the electoral roll? Did you know that? We need to get online and get registered to vote. If you or any of your children are over 18, you've got to get on the electoral register. Because if we can't vote, we can't change anything. We're Democrats. We're peaceful people. And one of the things I want to say about these demonstrations, these demonstrations have been done with such dignity and peace and in a way that makes the loyalist people look like they are the salt of the earth. There's been no violence at the demonstrations that have been properly organised. They've been properly controlled, and you can hold your heads up high as loyalists and say, we've done it the right way, we've done it the good way, and I would encourage us to keep on doing that. However, if the protocol remains, I personally believe that we should take 1,000 loyalists to Dublin with bands and Union Jacks and the Red Hand of Ulster and get outside that EU Commission and make as much noise as humanly possible. And if we do that, we'll find out what this agreed new Ireland looks like as the Guards and Republicans literally beat us back onto the buses to go back up north. Because that's what I believe would happen. That's what I believe would happen. So friends, there's plenty that we can do. There's plenty that we can do to save this country. But I want to finish. We're standing here. We've got a pastor here who's addressed us earlier on tonight. And I want to quote the words of a man that Billy will know very well. That old reformer, Martin Luther, when he was faced with oppression from European tyrants, what did Martin Luther say? Here I stand, I can do no other, so help me God. And that must be our rallying cry. Here we stand, we can do no other. The protocol doesn't need tweaked, it doesn't need changed. The protocol needs to be destroyed.
Here, here.
Anyway, I'm going to hand back to whoever's speaking next. Billy, thank you very much.
Good to see Joanne Foley and the content here tonight. By the way, I just want to express our thanks to the Shankill people, because there was over 1,000 of them signed the petition in support of the Polly Bridge. So thanks very much indeed, people of Shankill. But I'm just going to finish. I'm going to sing it for you shortly. But something that's on my mind, that's on my heart quite a bit. I'll be talking to Paul McCann that, you know, I'm in the 70s now, and if you look around, you know, some of us are, most of us are supposed to be in the 20s. 20 years of age, 25. Well, anyway, a wee bit more than that, suppose. But it's good to see the young people here. And for what it's worth, I'm just going to make a suggestion or comment. That our time will soon be over. I don't know how long God's going to give me on this earth. I know all my family are gone. My grandfather, my father came from Sandy Road roots. And I know, I believe that my grandfather, William Dixon, would be proud of me tonight. I've no doubt about it. And I've no doubt about that generation, the men who went to the Somme, and that they would be proud of you tonight. Okay, there should be hundreds, there should be thousands here, but in our history, it's always been the ones and the twos that's prepared to take a stand. So the older ones here tonight, we're looking at the young people here, and especially young people of Sandy Road. Get yourselves organised. Even if it means being independent, whatever it takes, get yourselves organised, get yourselves speakers, form debating societies, whatever it is, increase your skills, because we've got to win this country back. And you know, you talk about elections and so on. There's no one with more experience in elections than myself, and I know just how much involvement there is in fighting elections, and you need to be organised. So without saying too much more, I'm just directing my thoughts and my words to the young people of Sandy Road. Why do I mention Sandy Road so much? Because in its history, Sandy Road was always prepared to go out on a limb. You know, when the Orange Order wasn't prepared to take a stand, the Orange men of Sandy Road formed, what you'd say, cloned lodges. They cloned all the lodges. So you had St. Aidan's Lodge, became St. Aidan's Independence. And I could go on and on. It's just that Sandy Road earned the title Royal Sandy Road. And you know, it's probably significant that in Royal Sandy Road was such a history that this banner has been shown for the first time. It can be said it was shown first of all in Sandy Road. Now, I know there's people who are members of the DUP, good people. I know there's members of the Ulster Unionist Party, good people. You know that. But you know, in the end of the day, if they're going to recognise this protocol, if they're going to recognise this protocol in any way whatsoever, then they have to go. And I would just link it also to the Boyd Bridge. If that Boyd Bridge goes, as far as I'm concerned, I will use every muscle, everything I can to make sure that the Boyd Bridge goes, they go. They go. And if the protocol stays, they don't stay. So thank you very much indeed for coming out at such an inclement night.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over